and welcome to an episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Brian and Kim Walker. Today, we're going to talk about something that apparently Kim is pretty passionate about, because when we were talking about this episode, and I'm not even going to talk a whole lot, because, well, we're going to keep it family friendly, but she just said this is something that, well, it makes her PO'd. We'll leave it as that.
Well, you probably should first thank our sponsor.
Of course. All right, so let me thank our friends at Repair Pal for providing this episode. As shop owners, we were part of Repair Pal Certified Network. You can learn more at repairpal.com/shops. And hey, look, we don't just say that stuff. When we had our shop, we were a Repair Pal shop. I don't think Repair Pal was but maybe 2 years old or so at the point that we did that. And it was great. They sent us a lot of work, and that was work that we did not have to pay, advertising dollars for, so the little fee that we paid Repair Pal for that lead was
paid for itself.
So worth it.
Very, very. Oh, if you're listening, you can't see it, but if you happen to be watching.
Kim's going old school.
Oh, look, I found, can you see it?
Yeah, probably not.
Look at that. This is not a hoodie. It's like a fleece sweater. And it's, look. Oh.
She's showing off her
moving
Peak
it around.
Automotive logo from our shop.
It was great. That's a great logo. Anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm annoyed.
Why are you annoyed, Kim?
I'm aggravated. Well, because I don't know if it's... Look, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. The way to contact us is going to be at the end of the show. You can email us podcast@shopmarketingpros.com, whatever. I don't know if it's pride or if it's fear or lack of time.
They're gonna say lack of time, but that's just gonna be an excuse.
Yeah, well, whatever. Brian and I went to dinner with some friends last night who are great friends, and I think I made her mad because, do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Because she was like, I don't have time.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, yes you do, Queen. And she's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, I have 24 hours a day and you have 24 hours a day. This is all about priorities, right?
Yeah. All right, so you're really Ryan Seacresting this thing. Are you going to tell people what it is?
Maybe. All right, it is about nominating and applying, right? There are things to nominate.
For what?
I'm trying to say it. There are things that you nominate yourself or others for, awards, and I'm not really talking about, even though it could apply to this. There's the local kind of best of awards and that sort of thing. I feel like people tend to jump on that. Everybody wants to win that, so it's no big deal.
They want to do that because that's for the shop. The shop wins.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also easy, right? Because typically you get the public to nominate you and then to vote. So it's kind of an easy thing. But you can nominate yourself for certain awards in the industry. Also your shop, there are shop awards, but also nominating other people for certain awards. And so whether that's your service advisor or technician of the year, but there's also people in the industry. I remember, I don't know if it was a couple of months ago or a year ago, or if it was both, I reached out to some coaches. Carm was one that I reached out to, a couple different people. And I was like, hey, I think that your daughter or, whoever I was talking to, your service advisor, your wife would be a great candidate for this. So sometimes people need some poking and prodding, and so there's awards to nominate yourself or people for, but then there's also scholarships. So I'm saying both because I just kind of went wild in our Facebook group, ranting, complaining about this recently, this exact thing, which is causing this podcast, because I got an email from, I think it was Carm, I think Carm sent an email out and he was like, hey, so and so, whichever one it was, I don't know if it was the Apex conference or if it was AST or ASOG, one of them had, and I don't know that this is why, but they extended the deadline. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's because they need more people to pick from. I don't know. I'm making that up. Either way, I'm thinking, why are people not applying for these scholarships or these awards? And some of the awards, depending on what it is, there's a small fee to attach to it, but it's really nominal. And I'm heated about it because I know what a huge difference receiving some of these things meant for our shop when we had it, right? We have a wall right now in our office where we hang up all these awards and things that we got when we were shop owners, and some of those things took a lot of time to actually go through the process. I remember I think it was Motor Age that did Top Shops.
Oh yeah.
That was quite a process to apply for that. But there's some real strong benefits in the act of doing it, right? We got our stuff together. I had to go collect information. Actually, again, we just talked about this in the last podcast episode. We didn't have all the social media and digital stuff, so it looked like a scrapbook. Like I put it together like a scrapbook. But you gain a lot of pride in yourself and your team and your community when you pull all this stuff together. And so when you're selected and you win, there's so many things you can do to share that and to celebrate that win with your team. So we get so wrapped up in thinking about, and I don't mean this selfishly, but we get so wrapped up in thinking, well, I don't really want to share that we did this or we won that. And, it seems kind of braggy and it's not very humble. But there's so many more people when we were shop owners that contributed to the success of winning that than just me or you, right? I mean, that was, our whole team felt great about that. My service advisors were so stoked and excited. It became part of their sales process when somebody would call and they're questioning, why does it cost so much for this? And, you're able to say, our team is so great that we won this or we were recognized for that. Our technicians got on board and were proud to work for us because we received all these accolades. And then you talk about the little awards like the best of. Well, that's easy to win when you've got these other things that you've put in your cap to promote. So, it's not about you. It's about your whole team. And shops are missing out. So many shops are missing out on just incredible opportunities for recognizing your team for the efforts that they've put forth. If you don't want it for yourself, do it for your team. And I'm here. We're sitting here. We're recording this in mid-September, and we're hitting the road next week, and we're going to ASTE. They will have an awards night. We're going to go to the ASOG dinner that Friday night where they have scholarships for our shop owners and technicians to attend. So maybe you're the shop owner, and I already have in my mind 3 or 4 different shop owners, like I see your face, who I can't possibly imagine why you're not taking the time to apply to win these awards, whether it's Shop Owner of the Year or Service Advisor of the Year, Technician of the Year, Woman of the Year, whatever. But maybe you're that shop that you're like, there's no way we would win any of that right now. I don't have the budget to get to a conference. I can't send my technician for training. We're struggling. There's no way that we're going to be Shop of the Year. Well, guess what? You know what you need? You need the networking that happens at the events. You need the training that happens from a management perspective. Your technician needs the technical training that's happening. You need the resources that you're going to get from networking with these organizations. You're going to get maybe new tools and equipment that you never even knew existed from walking the floor at the trade show. Well, you don't have the budget to get there. Guess what? ASOG wants to give it out. You just have to take the time to fill it out. And I joked with Lucas and David like 2 weeks ago because I was so curious to see, okay, what's required? Are you having to write an essay? Do you have to give them your social security number? Are you giving up your firstborn? Like, what's involved in this process? And so I pretended to apply for the ASOC scholarship and just so I could get through to the questions. They're not asking for the world. It is not going to take forever to fill this out. And so I told them, I reached out to them and I was like, hey, by the way, I just pretend applied, just disregard that. I didn't want them to be like, what are you doing? So I think that's kind of my rant. But
and there's so much, like there's so many of these things. You know, Kim was talking about AST at Vision every year. You know, they have
Yes.
their award conference, and man, they do awards for everything. You know, like I think they have, you know, award. Gosh, I'm probably going to mess some of these up because I don't know what all the individual awards are.
Because
but there's
everybody- they
a
all
bunch
do
of
it.
them. But you know, Service Advisor of the Year, you know, woman-owned
Yep,
repair shop.
Teratopol won
like,
that.
You know, all of these different things, and when we like they're depending on you to nominate people for these awards. And let's say that you nominate your service advisor. Whether your service advisor wins or not, how are they going to feel knowing that you nominated them
Absolutely.
for, you know, the best service advisor of the year? It's just like it's something that they're going to be able to take a lot of pride in. It's something that is going to show them that you're grateful for them. And the application process for all of these things is pretty simple for the most part.
Yeah.
And then, you know, hey, this is the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. You know, when you win these different awards, you get to use them in your marketing. And that's whether it is your service advisor who just won Service Advisor of the Year, or your technician who won Technician of the Year, or your shop who won, you know, the best of your local magazine. So, you know, when we had our shop, we were Motor Age Magazine top 10 shops for both 2006 and 2007. Kim was talking about the scrapbook. The scrapbook was basically the binder that she put together with all of the information that she sent to Motor Age that allowed them to pick the shops. Now, look, we were a great shop, okay? Don't get me wrong. Were we literally one of the top 10
Right.
best shops in the country? I don't know. But we were one of the top 10 best that actually applied. And you can't get the award if you don't apply for these things. So, you know, take the time to do it, then use it in your marketing, promote these things. Again, we were top 10 shops 2 years in a row. We were Carey Magazine Reader's Choice Award. We were Chamber of Commerce Innovative Business of the Year. We were showcased in Auto Inc. magazine and Shop Owner magazine, and like, I mean, they're all over the wall inside of our office right now. And we have a stack of the darn things sitting on a table in
We don't
there
have
that
enough wall
we don't
space.
have any place on the wall to put them. But every single time that we won one of these things, we were able to, you know, put it out there that, hey, we just won this award. So
Yeah, it's on your website. It's you blog about how great it feels and you know, the accomplishment that came with that. You talk about your team and you know, you're sharing it on social media. You can write a press release about how you got recognized in your industry. There's so many things that you can do with it. But again, I feel like you said in the beginning, Brian, a lot of times people say, well, I don't have time to do that. But often that's the forward facing excuse for maybe it's a pride issue. You know, I don't know what the real issue is, but if you talk to any coach in the industry, you talk to any marketing company in the industry, you talk to any of the organizations, the professional everybody's going to tell you all of the great reasons why you should be doing that. So again, here we are in September, and we have ASOG and ASTE coming up. Then right after that, we've got Apex, where the women in auto care have a whole award ceremony where they're awarding so many different things. Brian talked about Vision, Milwaukee. That's just a few of them. There are so many. So if you're not involved in the industry, get involved for a million reasons. This is just a million and one. And so if maybe it's too late for you and you're wondering, well, I don't know what to do. Start now. Start preparing now so that when the time comes, you're not going to have to worry about it's going to take me so long, because you've already been doing the work. And what I mean by that is start taking pictures if you're not already. Start categorizing those things. If you think there's great pictures of your service advisor, just really in some great communication, or, when your technicians are doing great things, and capture things on video, capture things in the photos, go ahead and create a Google Drive a Google Drive folder where you can put documents and folders and start collecting this information. So when the time comes, you really already have a running record of things that you can pull from. Don't be too proud to nominate yourself or someone in your shop, but also look around. There's a lot of people making incredible contributions to this industry that you can, it might not be someone in your shop, but there might be an opportunity for you to nominate someone else for something great that they're doing. And then finally, like Brian was saying, share the great news through all the mediums that you can, but celebrate with your team. Find a way to if it's your service advisor, well, do something special. Make it a big deal and really celebrate them. So with that, and look, if we've missed any, I want to know. Reach out to me, because every single time there's an award or a nomination or something coming up for a scholarship, I personally reach out to people and I'm like, hey, you really should apply for this, or you really should apply for this. And then there are times where we, as shop marketing pros, we will nominate people. We're practicing what we're preaching. So I would love for anyone out there to email us at podcast@shopmarketingpros.com. If you have something that you would like to just inform me about, if there's something that I don't know about. Ratchet and Wrench has things that they do, really everyone. So thanks for listening to my rant today. I hope that it inspired you to just start paying more attention. And when you get that email or you see that Facebook post and something's coming up, to just, stop and first things first, take care of stuff that's important.
All right. So y'all, you can, if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us pretty much anywhere on the internet. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Our website, shopmarketingpros.com. I wrote a book. You can get it at shopmarketingpros.com/book. And we have a Facebook group that we're really, really enjoying that and starting to see people get a lot more active in it. And Kim has been giving away pizza to the most active people in the group every month. So,
in fact, I'm ordering tomorrow.
Yeah. So, hey, if you want pizza for your shop, go get active in the group. So thanks again for listening to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast on Aftermarket Radio Network. There are some other great shows on the network, and you can find them at aftermarketradionetwork.com or on your favorite podcast listening apps like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many others. Tune in for another episode next week, and until then, go fill the...